Welcome back, everybody. You're probably wondering, why am I walking through a forest? Well, rumor has it that right up ahead, there is an old lumber mill, said to have been abandoned sometime in the 90s. And there might be some old games there. According to legends, they did not get rid of any of their assets, so it's all still in place. So if there happen to be some old games, they might just be there. I don't know what to expect, but here's to hoping it's good. Thankfully, I have a pretty good knowledge of how to explore Forgotten Lands thanks to this one little field guide. Kirby is a series that's primarily 2D, lots of side-scrolling and cool power-ups, and not much else. We have games like Crystal Shards, which gave fans a small taste of what 3D could be, and Air Ride, which is technically more of a racer, but that all changed in 2016 with the release of a certain Robobot. Kirby Planet Robobot, one of the better Kirby games as of late, had a little side mode, and it was known as 3D Rumble. Well, if it has 3D there in the title, it must be in 3D, right? And, yep, this is 3D. This doesn't feel as much like a 3D platformer as much as it's like a mini-game from Battle Royale. The sub-game only lasts about 15 minutes and is literally just a way to heighten expectations by dangling what could be right in front of us. It's not good to foreshadow, but I'll accept this. But then during the 25th anniversary, we got ourselves an enhanced version with Kirby Blowout Blast. Sure, it's a step forward, but if only we didn't take a step back with Battle Royale. But what's this? A new system is approaching? Now, Kirby fans know two things. One, never trust butterflies, and two, whenever there's a new Nintendo console, a new Kirby game is bound to follow. Star Allies released to an astounding... Another game in the style of the previous 3 mainline entries, but this time with CPUs who play the game and do all the work for you. Everyone was hoping for a Breath of the Wild or Odyssey, but for the Kirby series, so safe to say this was a letdown. Now, funnily enough, this is the first Kirby game I ever played, and it may be my bias talking, but it's not that bad. Luckily I played this with friends, so it was loads of fun. But then the unthinkable happened, a sequel to Triple Deluxe's fighting game. But after that, the unthinkable happened again. September 2021, a Nintendo Direct announced, huh? You see, this could have been one of the greatest reveals ever, had it have not been leaked a couple hours earlier. But luckily for me, I did one of those no internet cleanses for the day, so I was really surprised when this came out. The game looked fresh. It wasn't just another Return to Dreamland. It was an actual new world to explore with neat new environments and characters. The hype only got bigger when the next trailer released in the February Direct, and this is where we got to see one of the most terrifying things in all of its full glory. Kirby. Let's just say memers had a great day when this came out. Apparently this was the new gimmick called Mouthful mode. You know, the defining trait of a Kirby game. Return to Dreamland had the Mega Powers, Triple Deluxe had the Hypernova, Robobot had, well, robots, and Star Allies had the CPU characters. But this looked fresh, new, creative, and at times questionable. And a few months later, we were blessed with this fever dream of a game. Oh boy, look up ahead, traces of the Forgotten Land. Look at this. It's all in shambles and looks like it hasn't been accessed for years, but like, it's still there. Unfortunately, there doesn't seem to be any games in there. Well. On to the next place. The game begins with some good old-fashioned Crash Bandicoot. And if you do not see Crash Bandicoot, you're not a real gamer. It's the perfect good old-fashioned way of introducing people to a 3D world. So this is the tutorial where signs pop up to show you the controls. We then get led up Breath of the Wild style to the top of this small hill. And look at that, the building from the box art. There, front and center. Here we have a few enemies to copy abilities from and stuff, and we get to learn some of the mechanics. Good stuff. Let's talk about the movement for a second. This game is super fun to control. Kirby has the perfect speed and just the right amount of floating when it comes to jumping and falling. Since his infinite fly move would literally break the game, Kirby now has an invisible ceiling of which he cannot penetrate. Like, sure, this is funny. I am all for nerfing God. There's even this new dodge move, like from Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, that is super satisfying to pull off. This is especially awesome to look at in boss fights, and it amplifies the epicness. It's just pure eye candy. And there are 12 copy abilities here, which is a far cry from the 26 in Star Allies, but 12's not too bad, right? On the bright side, these copy abilities are much more fleshed out and have evolutions. Yes, Pokemon fans rejoice. Evolutions. Each of the 12 power-ups for the most part have 3 tiers of power, just like a starter Pokemon. With the exception of Sleep, but that's not a real ability. Well, unlike in most games, Sleep here increases health and gives you a little stat boost. So I guess it's only slightly useless this time around. And Crash also only has 2. But on the bright side, Hammer and Sword have a few bonus evolutions based off of Dedede and Meta Knight, along with Morphonite as well, which is actually pretty cool. The other power-ups include your expected, like Sword, Cutter, Fire, 2 new ones including the hilarious Ranger and Drill. These 2 are probably my favorites as Ranger is super overpowered and gives Kirby a gun, which is just, well, it's Kirby with a gun. What else could I say? It's funny. And then Drill, which is pretty good for traversing underground, just like in Mario Wonder. The other good ones, Hammer, Tornado, Crash, which Crash is not like what you expect. The updated version of Crash is actually pretty insane, known as Time Stop. Just like in A Hat in Time. Damn, this game looks cool. Spike has been reinvented for 3D and literally turns levels into Katamari, which is just way too fun. Bomb and Ice are pretty cool too, not my favorites, but they got their perks. I will admit though I am not a fan of the ice physics. And new to this game is a hub world in the form of Waddle Dee Town. Here you can watch cutscenes, go fishing, and a tilt and tumble knockoff minigame. You can even enter Kirby's house and do the Coliseum. Oh yeah, boss fights are back, baby. And this is the only way to fight Meta Knight. There are multiple difficulty levels, and yes, the fights do get pretty tough. And just like most Kirby arenas and stuff, there's a good variety, they're all pretty fun. Not much else to say. But wait, we also have to meet our new friend for the game. Now, based on the track record of Kirby's friends, everyone was skeptical after Elfilin was introduced, and spoiler alert, he does have a small part of being the final boss, but he is in fact innocent and just wants to help Kirby save the kidnapped Waddle Dees, which are usually the antagonists and cause Kirby harm in most games. Oh well, it's refreshing to get new enemies for a change. And I'm sorry I ever doubted you, Elfilin. And looky what we got here, an old abandoned tractor. If I eat this, do I get tractor powers? That doesn't sound good out loud, actually. Scratch that. But look at this. Some of these glowy items Kirby can mold himself over and control. For all you Kirby Staircase fans out there, rejoice! There's a bunch of neat variety in the items you can use, and this gimmick is really good for breaking up segments and changing up the base. Kirby can control a car, arches to become a glider, staircases, roller coaster cars, a bunch of water, and he becomes a massive faucet, a traffic cone. And look what we got here, a 1992 Subaru light blue, just like in the game. Now unfortunately this one seems to be in shambles and full of bees. Don't know how these still work in the Kirby universe. Now here's the thing that confuses me. Shouldn't the vehicles and stuff be broken? And the electricity and water should also technically be down? What am I saying? This is a Kirby game. Logic doesn't apply. But yeah, since the Beast Pack took over, the place never really feels truly empty. Sure, the enemies here are intruders and not natives, but it makes the connects to this world a little too busy to feel abandoned. At least we get to hang out in an abandoned mall. Twice. I do love me some abandoned malls. The environments overall do put off a style of abandonment with lots of overgrown plants and mold, even stuff being frozen over. So A+ on that. It's nice to get something a little different than just Dreamland for the 3D debut. And look at what we have here, the old working lumber station, which is encaved and in shambles, which is a bit of a shame because I would have loved to explore this place, but I don't think the structural integrity could hold me, you know? Say, what's that up there? Must be the base of operations. Now on top of the main levels, we also have the Treasure Road stages. I like when games have challenge modes that take place in space, like Sackboy. Here, there is one for each level of ability along with each Mouthful mode transformation. These are just fun little distractions where you can just practice abilities and it adds a little challenge. It's fun having a timer and trying to beat your score. Besides the challenge levels, there are 6 worlds to explore. In Natural Plains, your run-of-the-mill grass area with buildings and stuff. Everbait Coast, which is an abandoned power plant, is one of the only good water worlds in any game. Yeah, there's minimal swimming here, and it's mostly levels based off of an abandoned water treatment plant.
I feel like more games should take note.
Wonderia Remains, which is an abandoned amusement park, which still has electricity and confuses me beyond belief. But besides that, I love amusement park levels in games, so there really should be more of these. Nothing will ever top 3D World though. That's just a fact. Winter Horns, which is like an Arctic city. Original Wasteland, which is a desert. And the Redgar Forbidden Lands, which is literally just a lava world. This is the only area that really doesn't quite fit in with the theme, since it's just lava. But I can't complain too much, it's a bit more original than Star Allies. And then of course you have Lab Discoverer, but that's just a whole nother can of worms that we best not get into.
Yeah, it's all in shambles, just like the workstation. I can't quite get in there to look and see what there is. Which is a bit of a shame, because I really wanted to, but... well, maybe we'll find something that... What's this? There's no way! It's a copy of Mario Paint! I found what I came here for! Man, is it fun to explore old abandoned places. You never know what kind of secrets you'll find.
Forgotten Land is the jump everybody wanted for the Kirby series since the GameCube era. Not that the recent games were bad, but we wanted more than just another Kirby game. And although not feeling entirely abandoned and full of technicality flaws, Forgotten Land really scratched that 3D itch for Kirby games that people had. This is the best case scenario for the situation. It could have been just another 2D game with a couple little 3D elements thrown in. But instead we got a brand new game in a whole new world with new characters, new gimmicks, new ideas. Almost new everything. But with this, I really do look forward to seeing what the Kirby series will have next. And I sure do hope that there's more games in this style of gameplay. Hell, maybe even toss in that Returns to Dreamland Deluxe art style. That stuff is eye candy.
Oh, I forgot to mention King Dedede's new design. He's a chunky boy, alright.
Yeah, they just really can't stay with one design, can they? Ah, well, looks like this one's gonna be here for the foreseeable future, considering that this was his design in Return to Dreamland Deluxe. I mean, I can't complain that much, it doesn't look bad.
And what a fun, wacky adventure that was. We got to explore a whole new place, which is an old place, an abandoned place. I don't know, it was great though. And I found an old SNES game. What are the odds? Anyways, I probably should get back to the shop before the customers think I abandoned it or something. I mean, I've only been gone for like, what, 10 minutes maybe? I'll just assume that they'll think that, right? I'm sure it's fine.